So if I switch over from where I'm doing more sampling versus where I say I'm going to do manual addition, well, for manual additions, I'm going to say, well, that's not really scheduled because I don't know exactly when that's going to happen or if it's going to happen. So this way I can have a nice ad hoc form here with the idea that I can add a new row. And once I do, it'll default to the timestamp right now. Now, these timestamps are always displayed in the local users, whatever the device is, whether it's a desktop or a tablet, whatever it's set up to be, it'll display in that, even though it'll obviously save everything in UTC. So if I do want to change this and say, well, actually, I did this earlier. This was earlier at 12:45. I can come through, I can make that change, and now everything I enter in this row will be saved into Pi with that timestamp, that exact timestamp. And you can see on this one, it has an outer range value, and I was able to save it, so it must be allowing that. So to show that, the way this one is set up is if I enter it and then I go save, it's going to say, well, you got to enter a comment. I'll take that out of range, but you got to come in here and enter a comment. So now once I enter a comment, and save it, then it'll go ahead and write that value out to Pi because that's how it's set up. And as I mentioned before, you can definitely set it up so it does not require any comment, and it simply takes values that are range. And of course, then you can have values that don't even have ranges. The other thing you can see here is there are different data types. So you can have, string data types. You can have, this is a Boolean data type, time date stamp. So essentially, it's any data type that Pi allows that isn't an array or some sort of list. So it's any of the basic data types, it'll take that. You can enter values, you can then save them out, and you don't have to enter everything at once. So another user can come in, log in somewhere else and they can enter data. It doesn't require that everything is entered at the exact same time or by the same user. But as I mentioned, it absolutely tracks who enters what data and when. So one other one here I'm going to show on this is just some more around data. So there is the ability to enter data that's drop downs. So in this case, I had entered a high value here, and then if I come and say, well, geez, why was that high? And then operator could come in and say, well, yeah, there's excessive vibration. So I'm going to enter that and save that out to go with it. So you can have drop downs here, and then the drop down can save out as either an enumeration number. So if you wanted it as a numbered list and you really wanted to save the number in Pi, or we can save it out as text. So it's simply up to you on how you configure it.